Problem number 2. Consider the equation p is equal to negative 1.06 plus 22.94, where p is a percentage of people of a country whose favorite sport is baseball 2 years since 1990. So here's the data that they collected, and they did some sort of regression statistics where they found the line that best fit this. So this line may not hold all these points exactly, but it should be fairly close. So let's just focus on this line. It says to rewrite p is equal to negative 1.06t plus 22.94 with a function named f. So with a function named f, so I think we simply want to write this as f of something is equal to negative 1.06t plus 22.94, and that something is going to be our independent variable t. So that's how we would rewrite this with a function notation. Next question, what is f of 10 and what does this mean? So f of 10 says that we take our function and then wherever we see a t, we would replace it with whatever we're going to put into input, which in this case is 10. So it looks like here we want to drop the value of 10, and then now this is simply an arithmetic calculation. So if we take our calculator out, we can put 1.06 with a negative, don't forget the negative, multiply that times 10, and then add 22.94, and that follows our order of operation. We get 12.34. So what does this mean? Well, what this means is, remember that the time that we got is time since 1990, and so that would be our t value, and the 12.34 is our percentage. So we can say in 1990 plus 10, so that's the year 2000. In the year 2000, we got 12.34% of the population, or of the people in a country. They see baseball as their favorite sport. Okay, now let's take a look at our next problem. Our next problem says find t when f of t is equal to 10. So this is a little bit different because our setup is going to look like this. F of t, it's not saying to put t in there, but this is supposed to be equal to 10. Now before I put equal to 10, let's take a look at what f of t is equal to. F of t is equal to this whole expression, negative 1.06t plus 22.94. So you're literally replacing f of t with this whole expression, and then you're going to set it equal to 10. So what do we see when we have that? We have an equation with one unknown, that's t over here, and let's think about solving this. So we're solving for t, and we would subtract 22.94 from both sides, and then what we would have left on the left hand side is negative 1.06t is equal to whatever 10 minus 22.94 is equal to. So that looks like it's going to be negative 12.94. after doing that subtraction, we want to continue solving for t, so at this point I think I want to divide by negative 1.06 to get t by itself. And so t is going to equal to, this is negative 12.94 divided by 1.06 with a negative. And negative divided by negative should be a positive, and we get positive 12.2, well, let's say 12.21. So what does this mean? It looks like in this case, this should mean something like the time. Remember, t is the time, so 12.21 refers to the time, and that would be the time since 1990. So add 12, let's not worry about the decimal portion. So let's make this a different color also. So in 2012, that would be 1990 plus 12. In 2012, the percentage that we have is the output. That's 10. So this is a 10%. So 10% of the people see baseball as their favorite sport. Okay, so that's the relationship. So the T is the years and the 10 is the percentage of the people. Alright, so let's look at the next problem. Find the p-intercept. P-intercept. So when we're taking a look at p-intercepts, the p-intercept means that the other variable, and in this case the other variable is t, is equal to 0. So how would we fit that into our function notation? So let's take our f of t is equal to negative 1.06 t plus 22.94, and wherever we see a t, let us replace that with 0. Okay, well, this seems to be a simple arithmetic problem where we multiply something times 0 and so that disappears, and so all we have is 22.94. So the p-intercept is going to be 22.94. Had we stepped back, we probably would have found it easier because we see that this is in a slope-intercept form where the slope is negative 1.06 and the y-intercept is 22.94. Except we would translate that from y-intercept to p-intercept and then we would get 22.94. What does this mean in this situation? So in this situation, we have to again look at the relationship between the time and the percentage. The t is the time, so that's 0 times 0 since 1990. So that's exactly 1990. So let's get that down here in 1990. So in the year 1990, the percentage that we calculated was 22.94. So we can say 22.94% of the people see baseball as their favorite sport. Okay. Last one, find the t-intercept of the model this time. So the t-intercept is when when the other variable is equal to 0. So this is a t, so the other variable is p is equal to 0. Remember, the p is a percentage. And so we can look at this thing and set this equal to 0. So we have negative 1.06t plus 22.94 is equal to 0. And then we solve for t. So to solve for t, I would probably want to subtract 22.94 from both sides. So I have negative 1.06t is equal to negative 22.94, and I would proceed by dividing both sides by negative 1.06. And then with our calculator, we have 22.94. Now, oops, let's clear that again. Say 22.94. We have a negative 22.94 divided by a negative 1.06, so that's just going to end up being positive. So I'm not going to put the negative signs there, and I'll just do the division, and I get a 21.64. So this is equal to 21.64. Now remember, this is not a percent, this is a time. So 21.64 is going to be the time since 1990. So I want to go 1990 plus, let's 22 if we're rounding off. So let's go about 22. That would be 2012. Nope. Let's let's use a calculator for that. 1990 plus 22. Yep, 2012. So what does that mean? Remember that t is a time, and in this case t is 2012, and the percentage p is the percentage of people who like baseball as their favorite sport, and p in this case is equal to 0. What we can say is that in 2012, if we're just following our pattern here, where we look at p as a percentage, so we can just write 0% of the people see baseball as their favorite sport. So it looks like the percentage of the population to see baseball as their favorite sport is declining since 1990. And then finally in 2012, nobody looks at baseball as their favorite sport. So I don't know if this is accurate, but this is what the model tells us, and this is the data that was collected. So that's problem number 2.